There we go, guys. Welcome aboard, guys. Cornell with YouTube Fishing Vids. I've been out here playing the fall game. Look at the colors in the background. Isn't this gorgeous? We've got breaking up weeds. I've got a fluke on my spinning tackle right here, and I got a nice fish on. Real nice one. First fish of the day. He crushed it. He's not going anywhere. All right, guys, fall fishing, game on. So there it is. It's a nice chunky bass on a beautiful fall day, but an unusual, crazy scenario out here in the mid-Atlantic. I'm in Maryland. It's the first week in November, and we're gonna be up to 80 degrees today. So right now, the water temperature is 62. I've got slick, calm conditions, so that subtle fluke that we've got. Let me show you what I've got here. Just a classic Zoom fluke on a 4/0 extra wide gap hook, 10-pound test leader line on 12-pound test Sunline braid. That's the SX1 braid I have on my CI4. This happens to be a Legend Tournament Series. St. Croix, I've got a 7.1 medium power fast action. So this little setup for a fluke launches this thing. This thing goes a country mile. If you look out here, you see little tops of weeds and everything else going on. So these fish are in the pockets. They're up shallow in about, anywhere from 4 to 7, 8 feet of water, and they're just coming up and sucking it down. So let's see if we can get some more. Oh, there's a dink. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a little action today on this fluke. I've been trying the square bills. I even threw the whopper plopper this morning. This is only about 3 casts later, a little dink, but I'm on an inside weed line. I've got a huge flat out here, and I've got weeds all over it, going from 7 all the way up to the surface. We still got some weeds, but on the inside line here towards the shoreline, which is a lot of where these bass are choosing to migrate up to the shore, we've got a broken open area up here. So we've got the inside weed line that's holding the fish. So that's 2 so far. Let's see how many we can get today. All right, folks, the wind's picking up and the rain's coming down. I paid attention to the weather forecast, but they said it wasn't going to come until later, so I was a dummy and didn't bring my rain gear. Another dink on the fluke. So the fluke is all hooked up today. I've gone in between the last couple catches and thrown a couple more things, but guys, this fluke is the deal. Right inside these little weed edges, close to the shoreline. It's working. All right, folks, I'm going to rig up another Zoom fluke here. I've got the white pearl color, just the classic super fluke by Zoom, one of the standard soft jerk baits out there you can get. So I'm going to just do a basic Texas rig and get this old one off. They tend to slide down the hook every now and then when you don't have any type of bait keeper. This is just a Gamakatsu extra wide gap standard wire 4/0 hook, and it's nothing more than, look at that little piece of leftovers off the tip. Get it nice and clean. And we're going to go in just a little bit beyond the barb, like so, about halfway down before you get to the bend. Come real straight, real straight out that center, guys. You want to make sure you get that perfectly centered as best you can. And in doing so, you're going to have a nice swimming fluke. All right, so that's all that is around the bend. And you've done that, so you're just barely getting that over the eye. And that's it. And you're going to stick it in the belly. It's always going to go in the belly and come out the back. So try and center that again as best you can. Line it up so it's going to lie straight. And again, dead center out the back right there. And there it is. So that's it. And then you do a little Texpose if you got some weeds like I do. Little Texpose, little skin hooked right there. Perfectly weedless. That's all it's doing. That's all it's taking today, guys. So that's a little polymer knot on the hook. Nothing more simple than that. And just a slow sink and twitch, pause, pause, some erratic action. That last fish actually came up and got it almost right off the surface like a topwater bait. So depending on what they want, just give it all the action you can give it. There's a lot to say for when it comes to a depth finder, guys. I stayed out back off the banks after playing with this fluke for a while. Check this out. Not giant or anything, but bigger than a dink on the underspin, a smaller version. I've been out here doing the underspin routine with the 3/8 ounce Swarm and Hornet underspin, but that's the 1/4 ounce with the Keitech. The same exact setup I've done, but this is a little bit of a downsized version. So there's the 1/4 ounce with a 3.8 bluegill flash Keitech on my same exact setup that I do for my chatterbaits, my spinner baits. That's the Lose Tournament Pro with a 15-pound test Seagar fluorocarbon Invisex. That's the St. Croix 7-foot medium fast. It's a perfect setup for this little pull bait. So threw it right up against this tree line up on this standard timber, and he just crushed it. So I'm gonna see if I can get a couple more in this little group. All right, back to the fluke, guys. That underspin was a trip. That was such a cool way to catch a fish. They crushed that thing. But yeah, I got one out of the school, it looked like, and back to a couple of dinks here on the fluke. So I'm gonna throw this fluke up against the shoreline until it's time to get back. I've only got a few hours today, so let's see how I go. Come here, buddy. Got that little dink on a long cast. Well, guys, it's been kind of a dink fest for a while here on this fluke, but it's an incredibly beautiful fall day. Can't ask for better weather and better conditions to fish in, but when it comes to the fishing, again, fall is tough sometimes. The fluke did it though. Fluke found some numbers, caught a couple decent fish, nothing crazy, but there it is, guys. Just a standard Texas rigged weightless fluke on 10-pound test fluorocarbon leader on 12-pound test braid. So that's how it goes sometimes in the fall. We love getting out here regardless. And guys, as always, I appreciate you joining me. As always, I appreciate you subscribing. Until we meet again, over and out.